about to start the daily routine. I've got to clean up this room and move all the cat stuff out and make myself a pre-workout drink and or some strong tea. So I need some caffeine to get going. I was up late working and I just got up a little bit ago trying to catch up on some sleep. So yeah, we'll be training this weekend with the group, and I'm going to be focusing on techniques with the martial arts workout here today that we'll be doing with the group. The meditation I do on the live stream is my personal daily meditation, which isn't going to change anytime soon unless the teacher tells me to change it. And the teacher is the Venerable Thubten Chodron, who is a Buddhist nun out of Washington State in the Shravasti Abbey, which is the part of the Tibetan Buddhist lineage under the Dalai Lama. But actually these nuns get ordained through a different group. I believe they're Thai. The Thai Buddhist tradition can ordain Buddhist nuns, and the Tibetan doesn't ordain women. So they're trying to reform that. And I like her politics. She's an environmentalist and critical of dictators. She's critical of Trump. So when we do the solo drills, the body workout, we're gonna do full body, then legs, then upper body, then core. The techniques we're focusing on right now are the single leg takedown, guillotine, stranglehold, Kimura, shoulder or arm lock, and the heel hook. So exercises related to that from standing would be full body exercise, sprawling, right? For legs, solo drill shooting for the takedown or lunges. For the upper body, doing really push-ups to knee on belly, push-ups to guard pass, lotus pose push-ups, because that's one of the things that we can do to work on having control in a leg lock position or control in side control after you take someone down. So we'll do some stuff like that today. And for the core, doing the hip bump sit-up, or the sit-up that leads into, from a hip bump you can go for the Kimura, you can go for a guillotine, or you can go for the hip bump. So we'll be doing that for the core exercise for the body weight workout section. And again, we're about to do the meditation, yoga, martial arts. I'm gonna clean up the room. I'm gonna go get my pre-workout drink. I start the live stream early so people can jump in and get ready. I recommend you stack up a couple of pillows to sit on and a pillow for your legs so your hips are above your legs when you sit. I recommend you have a blanket for your knees so your legs stay warm, and so cats or dogs don't claw your legs while you're sitting. After the yoga, short version of the Ashtanga, after meditation, short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series, which is a full body yoga routine. And then we're doing the high intensity interval training solo drill workout for martial arts drills, full body, legs, upper body, core. In that order over and over again, 30 seconds to a minute each. We're gonna do some sprawls, we're gonna do some single leg takedown shooting, we're gonna do push up to knee on belly or shoulder press from lotus pose, which simulates having arm control while you're in leg lock positions, and then Russian twist for the core and hip bump sit-ups, because that relates to the technique of the week. Techniques of the week are single leg takedown, guillotine, Kimura shoulder lock, and the heel hook, because these are the highest percentage techniques in all of grappling. So I'll shut up, I'll put on some motivational music, right now the chill music that's yoga themed, and then we will get into the routine, starting with the meditation. This song is relevant right now, again. So I recommend you go get your pillow, get your caffeine.
I'm sorry. But I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people so long as men die. Liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regulate your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as canned fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, such stuff as dreams are made of. We are such stuff as dreams are made of. We are such stuff as dreams are made of. And our little life is like this. I said so well, it doesn't seem so bad after all, does it?
Okay, so we're getting ready. We've got water.
You see,
I've got my pre-workout,
there's always in the poetry
and
the essence of
my lovely partner
moralists will say,
set aside some tea for
those
me.
lovely lips which you so delight to
So I really appreciate my partner for doing that.
when a few years wrong disclose
Before they left the house, I didn't realize they had made me this tea. So, thank you. It's nice to have a little bit of mild caffeine before I chug this pre-workout that's going to make me really intense for the workout. So just one more minute and we'll get started with the meditation. Okay, so I've got my pillows, my blanket, caffeine and water, pre-workout, stronger caffeine with the micronutrients, macronutrients. I put vitamin C packet in here that has other vitamins in it, and the pre-workout has vitamins in it too. So I recommend that you do the same thing. And then I'll shut up and we'll jump right into the meditation.
We do the practices with this aspiration to be a benefit to beings, not to harm them, to benefit them. And in our understanding, the best benefit is to actually for beings to be liberated from cyclic existence. And we need to become Buddhas in order to help beings to be free in this way. So generate those thoughts in your own way. So Venerable Chodu has laid out this sadhana for us, helping us to generate these various mind states. And she starts by having us think about all of our potential, all of the kind of positive qualities that we can develop. Infinite love, compassion, wisdom, skillful means. So imagine what it would feel like to be those qualities. Just let yourself be love, wisdom, try to feel the expansiveness and peace in your heart. wisdom that it takes to have this kind heart, to be unencumbered in any way, vast and expansive. Can take in everything that's happening in this world, reaching out to every being, human and otherwise, to benefit each one. So now imagine that these qualities of love, compassion, wisdom, skillful means appear in front of you in the form of Shakyamuni Buddha. So imagine this Buddha in front of you, in the space in front of you made of radiant, transparent light. He's sitting on a throne, above which is an open lotus flower and cushions of the sun and moon discs. This entire visualization is made of radiant, transparent light. But you're imagining a living being with a light body. So you feel yourself in the presence of the Buddha. But Buddha's body is golden in color. He wears the robes of a monastic. His right hand, with the palm down, rests on his right knee. In the earth-touching mudra. And his left hand is in his lap, holding a bowl of nectar. And this nectar is the medicine to cure our afflictions and all of our hindrances. And the Buddha's face is very beautiful. You can look at the Buddha's eyes. He's smiling, his eyes are smiling. He's looking at you with total acceptance. And as he looks at you, he's also encompassing all sentient beings. The Buddha's eyes are very peaceful, long and narrow. His lips are red and his earlobes are long. Imagine rays of light radiating from every pore of the Buddha's body. This golden light going out to all the parts of the universe, touching beings, carrying miniature Buddhas to help beings. And as they complete their work, they dissolve back into the Buddha. The Buddha is surrounded by the entire lineage of spiritual teachers, all the meditational deities, innumerable other Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats, Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors. And at the side, near each spiritual mentor, is an elegant table, and on it are Dharma books. The sounds of the Dharma fill there. And they're all so happy that we're here doing this together. Imagine their minds just blissful and peaceful, gazing at all sentient beings. So you imagine that actually you are surrounded by all sentient beings in human form. Your mother of this life is on your left. Your father of this life is on your right. Any people you have difficulty with, you imagine in front of you, facing the Buddha, keeping them there for protection. Family and friends are nearby. Countless strangers fill the space around you. And all of us are looking to the Buddha for guidance. So first we need to cultivate a sense of refuge. So we think of all the dangers of cyclic existence. Just think about how things are not secure. We run into dissatisfaction often, dukkha often. And people, all the beings around us, all the sentient beings around us, are also in the same boat, floundering in cyclic existence. And many of them have not met any kind of teachings that will help them out of this quagmire. So we generate compassion. And now think of the wonderful qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and generate this sense of confidence in them and their ability to guide you out of all of these recurring problems. To take refuge, we need the causes, this kind of concern, this kind of alarm, fear, and also this confidence and faith, and the compassion. So it is possible, on the basis of your present life and mind, to free yourself from all of these undesirable experiences. So resolve to explore that possibility to the fullest. Feel great trust and confidence in the three jewels, and open your heart to rely upon them to guide you and others from all of these difficulties of cyclic existence and bring us to the peace, liberation, full awakening. So as we do these refuge verses, starting here, now we're on the top of page 21, we'll be taking refuge in the Buddha, and we imagine actually leading all of the sentient beings around us and going for refuge. And we visualize white, radiant light flowing from all of the Buddhas, the spiritual mentors, the Bodhisattvas, all of these holy beings flowing into us and all the beings around us. And this light completely purifies all of our destructive karmic imprints and afflictions. And it also brings all the realizations of the path. So put your hands in prayer position. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Nama Sangaya. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Nama Sangaya. So feel that you've come under the protection of the three jewels. And now we turn our thoughts to others and think about how much we depend on other beings for everything that we have, everything we know, everything we use, everything we enjoy. Our food, clothing, resources of every kind. These come due to the efforts of others. Our knowledge, talents, good qualities, these too are developed due to the kindness of others. And our ability to practice the Dharma certainly depends on others who brought the teachings to us over the millennia by generating realizations in their mind and teaching. So this is a very great kindness, all of these things we want to bring to mind. Our innermost wish is to be free from suffering. And this is the case for everyone else as well. We want to be happy. All beings want to be happy. And like us, they encounter many difficulties, problems, sufferings. And usually, actually, their difficulties are more so than our own. Not always, but often. And when we examine our capacity to help beings, we find that we're actually quite limited. And we know from our practice that if we can reduce our anger, our attachment, our ignorance, our various faults, and if we can increase all of our good qualities, we're really going to be in a position to benefit beings. Imagine if we had just this generous heart, gives so easily, takes delight in giving, the kind of ethics that doesn't harm, has that just ingrained fortitude, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. We'll be in excellent position to help beings by having our good qualities developed. And if we develop them fully, like a Buddha does, then we'll be able to be of the greatest benefit to beings. So we generate this altruistic intention in order to be able to benefit beings most effectively. So as we take refuge and generate bodhicitta, imagine that light is flowing into you from all of these Buddhas and holy beings. And it's flowing into you and all the sentient beings around you. So we're on the top of page 22. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. So imagine the Buddha is so pleased with your altruistic intention. And a replica emerges from the Buddha, comes to the crown of your head, melts into golden light, flows into you. Feel that you and the Buddha have become inseparable. Feel very close to the Buddha and allow your mind to be transformed and inspired. Let go of all conceptions you have about yourself. Let go of any self-denigrating thoughts. Let go of the concept of inherent existence and meditate on emptiness. As your heart appears a small Buddha, reed of light. He radiates the light of wisdom and compassion in all directions throughout the entire universe. And this light transforms all sentient beings into Buddhas and all environments into pure lands, which are places where all the circumstances are conducive to practicing the Dharma and generating realizations. So imagine this. You've transformed all sentient beings into Buddhas and all environments into pure lands. In your imagination, but why hasn't this become a reality? We sentient beings have bias, prejudice, we lack love, compassion, and joy. So now we want to wish ourselves and others to have all of these qualities. So we contemplate the four immeasurables. We do this to reinforce our own felt experience of love, compassion, joy, and equanimity for everyone. Friends, strangers, enemies, relatives, people you don't like, or you don't trust, anyone, everyone. So as we say those four immeasurables, you want to listen to yourself say the words and contemplate as you recite. We'll pause between each of the four. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings not be separated from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. So, in order to what we've just been aspiring towards. We need to purify our negativities, and we need a lot of merit. We need to abandon things and adopt things. So when we do this 7-limb prayer, this encompasses all this abandoning and adopting things. So we'll pause after each line. And you want to have your hands in the prayer position, please. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. So imagine yourself and all the beings, the sentient beings around you, making prostrations to all the holy beings in front of you in the field of merit, repeatedly prostrating. And present clouds of every type of offering, actual and mentally transformed. So imagine offering everything beautiful to the Buddha and all the holy beings. You can fill the sky with offerings. Make it very lovely and beautiful. You can think of flowers and fields and just everything that you love. Offer to all the holy beings. You can do this repeatedly. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginning this time. So now we do like a glance meditation of the 4 opponent powers. So for this, bring to mind something that you wish to purify, some fault or mistake. Bring it clearly to mind and generate regret for that. And then the other opponent powers are taking refuge and generating bodhicitta, which we're doing in the practice. The practice itself will be the remedial action, but make a determination not to do this action again. And rejoice in the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. So think of common sentient beings like ourselves, the holy beings, and delight and rejoice in all of the virtue created by any kind of being. Let go of any jealousy, envy, and just rejoice in the goodness of the world. Use your own life experience. Think of things, people that you want to rejoice. And the next verse. Please remain until cyclic existence ends. So now we offer a double dorje. This symbolizes long life. We offer this to the holy beings. We do this requesting them to live long, to always be a part of our life. And you can do this multiple times in your imagination. And then the next verse. And turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. So again, make this offering. You're offering with both hands this beautiful 1,000-spoke Dharma wheel, golden in color. Offering this to the teachers and the Buddhas to guide you and to continue to teach the Dharma. And then the 7th one. I dedicate all of the virtues of myself and others to the Great Awakening. So now we steer these limbs toward full awakening for ourselves and all beings. Now we'll offer the mandala. Here we imagine everything beautiful in the universe, offering it to all the holy beings with the wish that they will continue to teach and guide us, and that we can generate realizations in our mind. This ground anointed with perfume, flowers strewn, mounts may room for land, sun, and moon. Imagined as a Buddha land and offered to you, may all beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, my body, wealth, and enjoyments, I offer these without any sense of loss. Please accept them with pleasure and inspire me and others to be free from the three poisonous attitudes. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayam. So imagine all the holy beings are just delighted and they receive your offerings. And the offerings melt into light and dissolve into them. And these all absorb into the Buddha's heart. And then immediately he radiates light back to you, filling your body and mind. And this light inspires you to accomplish the path to full awakening. So in order to progress along the path, we need to develop realizations. And in order to do this, we need the inspiration of the lineage of spiritual mentors, especially your principal teacher or your root guru, who is the one who has touched your heart deeply. If you don't have a specific teacher, just think about Shakyamuni Buddha, or maybe you have a connection in your mind with His holiness. And we make this request, page 25. Glorious and precious root guru, sit upon the lotus and moon seat on my crown, guiding me with your great kindness. Bestow upon me the attainments of your body, speech, and mind. And so then, at this point, you imagine that a replica of your teacher in the aspect of the Buddha emerges from the Buddha in front of you. And it comes to sit on a lotus and moon disc on the crown of your head, facing the same direction as you. So then this Buddha on the crown of your head is going to act as an advocate for you to request inspiration from the entire field of merit as we continue with the request. And we're doing the long one on page 26. Buddha, unequal teacher and guide, venerable protector Maitreya, successor, superior Sangha prophesied by Buddha, to you three Buddhas and Bodhisattvas I make request. Buddha, head of the Shakya clan, the foremost guide, peerless in expounding emptiness, Manjushri, embodiment of the Buddha's complete wisdom, exalted Nagarjuna, best of the superiors who sees the profound meaning. To you three crowning jewels of clear exposition I make request. Atisha, upholder of this great vehicle, who sees the profundity of dependent arising. Drone Rinpoche, elucidator of this good path. To these two ornaments of the world I make request. Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of objectless compassion. Manjushri, masteress flawless wisdom. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the snowy land sages. Losamdrapa, I make request at your feet. Holder of the white lotus, embodiment of all the conqueror's compassion. Guide benefiting migrating beings in the land of snow mountains and beyond. Sole deity and refuge, Tenzin Gyatso, at your feet I make request. The eyes through whom the vast scriptures are seen. Supreme doors for the fortunate who would cross over to spiritual freedom. Illuminators whose wise means vibrate with compassion. To the entire line of spiritual mentors I make request. So imagine all of the figures in the field of merit melting into light, dissolving into you. Into the central figure of the Buddha in front of you. All the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the Arhats, Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors, all of these beings melt to light, dissolve into the central figure of Shakyamuni Buddha. And now Shakyamuni Buddha embodies the three jewels. And this Buddha absorbs into the Buddha on the crown of your head. And then as we recite the Buddha's mantra, try to let your mind be very open, receptive. Imagine this white light flowing into you from the Buddha on the crown of your head. It purifies all your negativities, all your obscurations, and it generates within you the realizations of the stages of the path. So we recite the Buddha's mantra together. Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Mune Soha. 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 Now, establish the visualization of Shakyamuni Buddha above the crown of your head, made of golden transparent, radiant light, a living being. And this Buddha melts into light, dissolves into you. Your body, speech, and mind become inseparable from those of the Buddha. And then we'll make the dedication prayers, starting on the page that we're on in the sadhana, which is 27. Due to this merit, may we soon attain the awakened state of Guru Buddha, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious Bodhi mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore.
So this is the meditation on the Buddha. And next, I'm going to put on some yoga philosophy themed music and clean up the room before I get the yoga mat, and then we'll jump right into the Ashtanga Yoga primary series. I'm looking for a specific video to get into the yoga practice because it relates to encouraging people to jump into meditation, yoga, or martial arts when they might feel a resistance or a fear. Oh well, I'm not seeing it. I'll just put on another one.
You want to make sure that you always inject novelty is what triggers memory. Because your brain will get bored of the sameness, so you need to trigger memory and attention.
Take a bathroom break.
Get people to move from where they are
And
to
then
where
get
you
your
want
yoga
them to
mat.
be. You just say, well, it's much less expensive than this. So contrast is one of the most important buttons. Use contrast often. Hey, you don't want to be this bad. You could be over here. And repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. And repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. And repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. And if you keep things simple, the brain can process it and deal with it. And if you keep things simple, the brain can process it and deal with it. If it's complicated, your brain has a tendency just to flush it out. Can't deal with it, flush it out. The fake because is a form of pseudo-logic. Sometimes you need to get people moving with a fake reason that doesn't even actually pass logical standards. But people don't need logical reasons. Just look at politics. People have incredibly different opinions
don't need real reasons. It frees you. Because if you're locked in a little world at a lower level of awareness where you're saying, well, now I could convince somebody, well, let's have a real reason. Sorry, that's not the reality any of us live in. Real reasons are good if you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Real reasons are good if you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Real reasons are good if you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Once you know you don't need them, and the reality can be altered, you're in better shape. And repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. And repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. And repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. Our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. One such part involves boredom, routine, and petty frustration. The parents and overfocus here will know all too well what I'm talking about. By way of example, let's say it's an average adult day, and you get up in the morning, go to your challenging white-collar college graduate job, and you work hard for 8 or 10 hours, and at the end of the day you're tired and somewhat stressed, and all you want is to go home and have a good supper and maybe unwind for an hour and then hit the sack early, because of course you have to get up the next day and do it all again. But then you remember there's no food at home. You haven't had time to shop this week because of your challenging job. And so now after work you have to get in your car and drive to the supermarket. It's the end of a work day, and the traffic is apt to be very bad. So getting to the store takes way longer than it should. And when you finally get there, the supermarket is very crowded, because of course it's the time of day when all the other people with jobs also try to squeeze in some grocery shopping. And the store is hideously fluorescently lit and infused with soul-killing music or corporate pop. And it's pretty much the last place you want to be. You can't just get in and quickly out. You have to wander all over the huge, overlit store's confusing aisles to find the stuff you want. And you have to maneuver your junky cart through all these other tired, hurried people with carts. And eventually, you get all your supper supplies, except now it turns out there aren't enough checkout lanes open, even though it's the end of the day rush. So the checkout line is incredibly long, which is stupid and infuriating. Stupid and infuriating. Which is stupid and infuriating. Stupid and infuriating. Because you can't take your frustration out on the frantic lady working the register, who is overworked at a job whose daily tedium and meaninglessness surpasses the imagination of any of us here at a prestigious college. But anyway, you finally get to the checkout line's front, and you pay for your food, and get told to have a nice day, in a voice that is the absolute voice of death. And then you have to take your creepy, flimsy plastic bags of groceries in your cart with the one crazy wheel that pulls manually to the left, all the way out through the crowded, bumpy, littery parking lot. And then you have to drive all the way home through slow, heavy, SUV-intensive rush hour traffic. yet been part of you graduates' actual life routine. Day after week, after month, after year. 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 But it will be. And many more dreary, annoying, seemingly meaningless routines beside. But that is not the point. The point is that petty, frustrating crap like this is exactly where the work of choosing is going to come in. Because the traffic jams and crowded aisles and long checkout lines give me time to think. And if I don't make a conscious decision about how to think and what to pay attention to, I'm going to be pissed and miserable every time I have to shop. Because my natural default setting is the certainty that situations like this are really all about me. About my hungriness and my fatigue and my desire to just get home. And it's going to seem for all the world like everybody else is just in my way. And who are all these people in my way? And look at how repulsive most of them are and how stupid and cow-like and dead-eyed and non-human they seem in the checkout line. Or how annoying and rude it is that people are talking loudly on cell phones in the middle of the line. And look at how deeply, personally unfair this is. Or, of course, if I'm in a more socially conscious liberal arts form of my default setting, I can spend time in the end of the day traffic being disgusted about all the huge, stupid, lane-blocking SUVs and Hummers and V12 pickup trucks burning their wasteful, selfish 40-gallon tanks of gas. And I can dwell on the fact that the patriotic or religious bumper stickers always seem to be on the biggest, most disgustingly selfish vehicles, driven by the ugliest. And this is an example of how not to think.
Okay, we'll begin with the yoga.
complicated. And so, just too hard to explain. This is important to know because you're going to wonder, why didn't I tell you where the user interface for reality was before? The user interface for reality itself. The user interface for reality itself. So that you can alter your own reality. The user interface for reality itself. It's kind of a heck of a thing to hold out, isn't it? And the reason is, I couldn't tell you before. There needed to be a certain perfect situation. And that perfect situation happened today. Today. After 22 years, my plan came together. Today. And that plan was that someday I wanted to be in a position to tell you the things I'll tell you today that I couldn't tell you until now. The user interface for reality itself. The user interface for reality itself. So that you can alter your own reality. The user interface for reality itself. All right, at long last, the user interface for reality. Some of these things you can say, hey, I've heard about those. First, you must accept the frame, at least as a filter. There could be a subjective reality that you can manipulate it. You should accept that systems work better than goals. People are telling me every day that they implemented systems that changed their life. This is one of the biggest buttons on the interface for life. If you don't like where you are and you want to go somewhere else, learn how to build systems for everything from your diet to your career to your social life, fitness, everything. Talent stacking. The idea that if you're intelligent and add to your talents, you become not just a little bit better, but exponentially better because talents really explode your capability and your options. So this is one of the biggest buttons of the interface to reality. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. The interface to reality. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. It feels like it works. Affirmations, the idea of writing down or visualizing your goals, seems to be something that gives you the impression that it works. And I say that very carefully. Does it work? Do affirmations change reality? I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you that when I've used them, the results I've gotten don't seem like anything could have been natural. I cured an incurable voice problem. I had ridiculous stock market luck when I used the affirmations. This notion that out of death comes life becomes a very important theme in the later religions of the world. He who loses his life shall find it is a spiritualization of this idea. In fact, when the first cities appeared in Mesopotamia about 3000 BC, large communities grow up based on agriculture. Planting has to take place a certain time, reaping a certain time, and there are professional priests watching the heaven to know when those times were, when those times came. And those men became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars. And they calculated and recognized that these planets were moving in mathematically inevitable courses. The idea came into being and became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars, of a cosmic order, of mathematical precision, and became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars. The neighbors now were the stars and the planets. On and on, as the day comes and goes, the year comes and goes, the eons come and go, and the whole society must go into accord with that. This idea that the human society should reproduce the heavenly order comes in. The neighbors now are the stars, and this still lives with us in our religions. All of our religions have inherited this motif from the old Babylonian world. It went out with the higher civilizations to India, to China, even across the Pacific to Mexico and Peru. And you see these great towers, these great temple towers that represent the mountain of the world. It's the axis of the world around which the world turns. It does around the pole star, the whole world. And society, and the individual in it, are like the planet, moving a great course. Society, and the individual in it, are like the planet, moving a great course. And became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars, of a cosmic order, of mathematical precision, and became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars. The neighbors now were the stars and the planets. Now in the 1920s, Sir Leonard Woolley, excavating in the graveyard of Ur, found graves in which there were 30 and 40 people buried, all of them in court attire, who had been buried alive. When the king died, all was ruined. At a certain time, the movement of the planets, when the moon goes down, and the planet Venus along with the moon, it was the end of an eon. The king and his entire court walked into the grave. They were playing a game. Just as the hunters were imitating animals, just as the planting people were imitating plants, so the high civilizations began with princely, aristocratic little groups imitating the stars to the death, going all the way. The whole court at the end of an eon went in the grave so that another court could come. And became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars, of a cosmic order, of mathematical precision,
So that is a nice little triangle. If I put this in the language of Oriental philosophy and religion, it would be something like this. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. One who abandons that desire attains nirvana, which is supreme peace, liberation. Nirvana means in Sanskrit, blow out. That is, exhale the breath. Exhale the breath. The opposite, desire, is to breathe in. Now, if you breathe in and hold it, you lose your breath. But if you breathe out, it comes back to you. It comes back to you. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. So the principle here is, if you want life, don't cling to it. Let go. Let go. But the problem is, if I desire not to desire, is that not already desire? How can I desire not to desire? How can I surrender myself when myself is precisely an urge to hold on, to cling to life, to continue to survive? To survive. To survive. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. I can see rationally that by clinging to myself I may strangle myself. I may be like a person who has a bad habit, as a result of which he is committing suicide. And he knows that, but can't give it up. Because the means of death are so sweet. Here's just one example of the total wrongness of something I tend to be automatically sure of. Everything in my own immediate experience supports my deep belief that I am the absolute center of the universe. The realest, most vivid, and important person in existence. We rarely talk about this sort of natural, basic self-centeredness because it's so socially repulsive. But it's pretty much the same for all of us. It is our default setting, hardwired into our boards at birth. Think about it. There is no experience you have had that you are not at the absolute center of. The world as you experience it is there in front of you or behind you, to the left or right of you, on your TV or your monitor. The world as you experience it is there in front of you or behind you, to the left or right of you, on your TV or your monitor, and so on. Other people's thoughts and feelings have to be communicated to you somehow, but your own are so immediate, urgent, real. Please don't worry that I'm getting ready to lecture you about compassion or other-directedness or all the so-called virtues. This is not a matter of virtue. It's a matter of my choosing to do the work of somehow altering or getting free of my natural, hardwired default setting, which is to be deeply and literally self-centered, and to see and interpret everything through this lens of self. People who can adjust their natural default setting this way are often described as being well-adjusted, which I suggest to you is not an accidental term. The world as you experience it is there in front of you or behind you, to the left or right of you, on your TV or your monitor. The world as you experience it is there in front of you or behind you, to the left or right of you, on your TV or your monitor.
So this has been the Ashtanga Yoga primary series, the short version. Next we'll get into the martial arts workout, solo drills, and we have a small group meeting at the park as often as possible. And we're going to focus on the techniques of the week with the solo drills that we're practicing as a group. So I'll put on some more intense motivational music to listen to while we work out. And the workout is going to focus on those techniques, which is single leg takedown, guillotine, stranglehold, kimura, shoulder lock, and a heel hook for the legs. So techniques related to that are sprawling from standing for the full body workout, full body exercise. For the legs, we can do lunges and shooting for the single leg takedown. For the upper body, we can do push-up with a guard pass and push-up with the legs in figure 4 or in lotus pose to simulate maneuvering while in a leg locking position with your arms. And then for the core, we can do a sit-up to a hip bump, which relates to the hip bump, the Kimura, and the guillotine. And it also, we can do Russian twist and laying down and switching sides. For the leg locks, for the core exercise. So we'll do a minute, 30 seconds to a minute of full body, and then legs, then upper body, then core, 30 seconds to a minute of each.
We've talked about the path. We've talked about discipline. We've talked about living clean. But it is not an easy path. It is filled with temptations and pitfalls and hazards and traps. And it's hard to stay on the path. It's hard to stay on the path. And if you fall off, it gets even harder to get back on. What do you do?
Full body burpee. Oh, can you check the time? Okay. So it's 6:20, we'll go till 6:50. Okay, lunges.
You know the old question. If a tree crashes in a forest, and there's nobody around to hear it, is there noise? This question has been discussed in many futile ways.
25 push-ups.
Noise, basically,
leg
is not any
raises.
air around, there won't be any noise, although there will be vibration in the air. And if there is some instrument around, such as a microphone attached to a tape recorder, there will be noise. There will be a vibration. There will be light. In the darkness. In the same way, let's suppose the sun sends out light into space. Now, the space surrounding the sun will be black darkness, as if there were no light in it, unless a planet happens to float by. When a planet floats by, there will be light. In the darkness. But if there isn't anything to relate to the sun in that way, then comes no light. Now this goes right down to the root and ground of everything. It goes down to the essence of your nerves, your whole being.
Full body exercise, sprawl.
That it's all
When someone
an
tries to
intelligence.
take you down, sprawl on top of it.
Noise. There will be a vibration. There will be light. In the darkness. There will be noise. There will be a vibration. There will be light. In the darkness.
Okay? For legs,
And that's why one of the basic symbols
shooting for a
of the
takedown.
universe is the Chinese yin-yang symbol, which you know is a circle with an S curve in the center. One side of the S is black, the other is white. So it makes, as it were, two commas or two fishes. And the eye of the fish is the opposite color. The white fish is a black eye, the black fish is a white eye. Going in on each other. Now this thing is called helix. And that is the fundamental form of the galaxies. The great nebulae we see out in space. And this is basically to the
For upper body,
This is like
we're gonna push up and do a knee cut guard pass.
you hold hands and so on. This is it. This is it. There will be noise. There will be a vibration. There will be light. In the darkness. There will be noise. There will be a vibration. There will be light. In the darkness.
Right? For core, let's see. We're gonna do the hip bump, sweep, sit up, which also leads to a Kimura or a guillotine.
Involved. And the two are secretly one.
Okay. Full body, break, fall, and stand up. Right. Kick. Kick. So legs, leg lock entry from standing. No hands. Oops. One more on each side. Okay. Setting up a leg lock. Now from that position, you can have a figure four and push your body off the ground. Or you can put the legs of lotus and push up off the ground. Try the other side, legs in a figure four, right? Push up. Try lotus. Okay, from here, Russian twist for the core. Okay, full body exercise is sprawl from standing. I'm dropping one hip. Okay, for legs, shooting for the takedown.
Memory never recaptures reality. Memory reconstructs. All reconstructions change the original, becoming external frames of reference that inevitably fall short. How soothing it is to forget, and how dangerous.
For upper body, we're going to do push-up guard pass again.
A past which never in fact existed. Humans are born with a susceptibility to that most persistent and debilitating disease of intellect, self-deception. The best of all possible worlds and the worst. Get their dramatic coloration from it. As nearly as we can determine, there is no natural immunity. Constant alertness is required. As nearly as we can determine, there is no natural immunity. Constant alertness
For upper body,
a satisfactory future.
sorry, for core, we're going to do the sit-up hip bump,
A past which never in fact existed.
which leads to Kimura and also guillotine.
Idealized past. A past which never in fact existed. 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 A past which never in fact existed. To lead a satisfactory future requires a return to an idealized past. A past which never in fact existed. A past which never in fact existed.
Okay. From standing, full body exercises, break fall and stand up. Kick. You post your arm on your leg. Protect your chin. Kick. Defend yourself.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to be a member. That's not my
Leg lock
business.
entry.
I don't want to rule
From
or
standing.
conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to
Without
help
the
one another.
hands.
Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone. The good earth is rich. We can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls. It has barricaded the world with hate. It has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, and we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. Our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness of men. Cries out for universal brotherhood.
One
and the
on
unity
each
of the
side.
world. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. For those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery
Upper
that is
body.
upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness
We're
of
going
sin
to
will
lift
clear the way.
the hips up
Human
from
progress.
the figure 4 position.
The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people.
switch sides.
Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you and slay you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you
Try it from Lotus.
you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery.
For core, we're going to do this omoplata setup and switch because you can use this for leg locks too. Okay. Full body exercise, sprawl. Takedown shot. Leg, upper body, push up, knee cut, guard pass. Or hip bump sit up, which also leads to Kimura or guillotine.
Fire in your mind that says, I am going to
Break fall. Stand. Kick. Right. Upper body, legs, leg lock entry. Stand up without the hands. Last one. Upper body. We're gonna lift up from a figure 4 position, right? And switch. And a few more notes. Okay. Now, Russian twist.
I need to feed those fucking ideas. I need to feed them and water. I need to set aside a certain amount of time every day. I just try to make those things happen every day. I just try to make those things happen every day.
And figure 4.
I just try to make those things happen every day. You can't do that. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's
Six sides.
every day. You can't do that. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important struggle. Look at someone who's doing really well and very
Alright.
famous and successful.
Check the time real quick.
Now, flying around, private
Sprawling
jets,
is next.
speakers every day, driving around Bentleys. You just see that. You don't see him being a young kid in Philadelphia going to
1 or 2 more rounds.
There's a progression
Sprawl.
that you're not witness to. You don't see it, and that takes place in everything. It takes place in the office, in comedians, musicians. There is a starting point with time and focus, and along with you reevaluate and reassess and constantly, objectively look at what you're doing and then pursue it with passion and focus. You get better at things. There's always going to be people that are luckier than you. Some of it is luck, and some of it is courage. Some of it is putting your ass out there. Some of it is trying things. One of the things that I always like to tell people that I think you should do is
Shoot where you take them.
difficult. It's very important to struggle. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult every day. You can't do that. Do shit that's difficult every day. Every day. Do shit that's difficult. It's very important to struggle.
push-up, knee cut, pass. And hopping over the legs, sliding across the thigh to pass the guard. Forward. We're going to do hip bump, sit up for 1 minute, which also leads to Kimura grip or guillotine.
Jocko, focus in a battle is easy. How do you keep focus in a long war? Definitely be true. It can be pretty easy to focus on a battle.
Break, fall, and stand.
In you doing that,
Kick.
stand.
Protect your chin. Protect your neck. For the legs, leg lock entry. We're slowing down now, winding down to end. Once more on each side.
We want results now. We want the shortcut to the winner's podium. And sometimes, when we don't get that short-term glory that we want,
Upper body. You can push up with the lotus or with the figure four. Lift your hips.
6 weeks or in 6 months or in 6 years.
You can move around.
No progress. You never moved.
Change sides.
You might even be further from your goal than you were. Why did you let that happen?
And then try just lifting with the lotus pose. And this is so you can maneuver from a 50-50 or inside triangle leg lock position, or while you're putting on the omoplata, shoulder lock with the legs. Okay. Now, Russian twist.
At some point, after you lose sight of that goal and years have gone by, you think to yourself,
With the figure 4.
You give up. You let it fade. And you settle.
Some
You
sides.
settle for mediocrity. You settle for average. You settle for, oh well. But no.
Russian twist.
Do that. Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul.
Now lay down. Pass the arms over, sit up, keep the legs off the ground.
Do something about it. Do something about it. Every day. Do something that moves you toward
And we'll
that
stop there.
that keeps the goal alive.
I'll double check the time.
You focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take
Yep.
it to it. Do that little piece. Make it happen.
So listen to the rest of the song, drink water, like, share, and subscribe, please. But practice at home. Practice with a group.
To achieve itself. It's all on you.
So make your long-term goals, your short-term goals. Practice every day to get there. This routine has been Meditation on the Buddha, short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series, followed by body weight exercises in the format of a high-intensity interval training, which is 30 seconds to a minute of full body, and then 30 seconds to a minute of legs, and then upper body, then core, over and over, with the exercises specifically addressing the techniques of the week that we're working on with the group. And those techniques are single leg takedown, the guillotine stranglehold, the Kimura shoulder lock or arm lock, and the heel hook, and how to get to these things from different positions. So the exercises we did was sprawling to defend a single leg takedown, shooting for a single leg takedown for full body and legs. Upper body was a push-up to a knee cut guard pass, right? And then for the core exercise, we did this hip bump sit-up, which will lead you to a Kimura attack, or you complete the hip bump sweep, or you can go for a guillotine from the closed guard bottom. The second round we did break fall to stand up in case you get taken down and you need to stand up. The leg exercise was a leg lock entry, which is a quarter turn back step. You're pinching their leg with both of yours and stepping into a position where you have the inside triangle and the inside or outside heel hook right away from standing. The upper body exercise was maneuvering from that position, whether by putting your legs in lotus or in the figure 4 or just holding 50-50 and picking up and moving around. And then the core exercise was the rotations in 50-50 or in the figure 4 with the legs, like the Russian twist core exercise. So that's all for today. Won't be live streaming tomorrow, so if you're not part of the group, then practice at home or go find a school with a good teacher to train with. I like this team in general. I don't like everybody that trains there, but it's a good team. Gabby Garcia is a really cool person on the Alliance Jiu-Jitsu team. I trained and competed with them for years. They got me onto the level where I could get most of these gold medals. Some of those gold medals I got while bumping around schools and being homeless and unemployed and just hitchhiking around fighting in tournaments. So, there's a lot of good schools out there. You have to find out whether or not the school's toxic. You have to find out whether or not they're racist or homophobic or bigoted or far right. If there's a bunch of Nazis training there, you probably don't want to train there. You're going to end up getting in trouble when they get raided. if everybody's on steroids there, you know, you might not want to train there because you're going to get in trouble when they get raided. But you can go to these schools and learn things and take their techniques and teach them to your friends. So keep training at home, practice meditation, practice yoga, practice martial arts, and focus on these things that you can control. Your breath, your body, your hair, your clothes you wear, your diet. If you eat healthy, plant-based, or keto diet, you're going to be on a good path. So have a good one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.